Hello everyone, my name is Paul Lesovic. I'm the maker of Parchment, which used to be called Simple-RAG, and this product, what it does is it allows you to talk to your documents. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to use it and start asking your documents questions. So I'm going to download it. Okay, it's downloaded. So I'm going to go in here, extract all. So now it's unzipped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to parchment.bat and I'm going to ingest a new document, which is going to be this one from archive.org called Travels of Marco Polo, published in 1852, and it was written by Hugh Murray. So we're going to get the PDF. So I'm just going to call it, I'm going to save it to where Parchment is, and instead I'm going to call it Marco Polo. Okay, so now I'm going to put in just a new document. So I'm going to put 1. So what it's doing right now is it is installing everything. It's creating the virtual environment and installing all the requirements. So right now it's installing all the requirements. I made the product this way so that all you had to do was just press or click one thing and it would do everything else for you. No other setup is required. What makes this product different from other products is that it's all integrated. Everything is put together and you could actually run this on a very old computer. I've run this program on my 6-plus-year-old laptop and have gotten the same results where it gets to work and it does OCR and it allows you to immediately start talking to your documents. So while that's happening, I'll go over the different searches that you have. You can do an exact search, which is similar to lexical search, that allows you to get the exact term, but also when it's plural or if it's one of the words that we put the synonyms in for. In addition, there's also semantic search, so you can search based off of meaning. So if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, but you can describe it, you can search for it that way. And then in addition to that, you can also search with a standard query where you just want to get citations very quickly. So I'm going to put Marco Polo .pdf because that's how I saved it here in the same folder. And what it's going to do now is it's going to do the OCR, which is optical character recognition for each page, each of the 342 pages. So once that happens, it's then going to chunk it, and then once it gets chunked, it's going to be embedded and it's going to be searchable. But basically what I did with this was I wanted to make something that actually allowed you to talk to your documents very quickly, and I just thought that everything else with AI wasn't fast enough. It wasn't actually giving me what I wanted. So this is why I made simple RAG, or I'm sorry, Parchment. So Parchment is good because lawyer, if you are an investigator, if you are an auditor, all you have to do is just install this, and then you can make queries for documents without anyone else knowing what they are. And you don't have to do anything where you're giving your private data to another corporation. Everything stays locally on your computer. So it's doing OCR for every single page in the book. And the OCR program that I'm using is Tesseract. So I'd like to thank the team at Tesseract for making a very good product, which is excellent for OCR, and it gets very good quality. Okay. So while this is being OCR'd, let's take a look at the PDF in question that's being OCR'd. So as you can see, it has some old marks on it, like right here. It's not the best quality. That continues here. Okay, this isn't horrible text quality, but at the same time, it isn't great. As you can see, the words, the text is very close to itself. In some cases, it looks like there were printing issues, and it looks kind of blotchy. From what we can see here, this is a good candidate because the fact that it's not that great will just show you how, good the OCR is. And then I'll also do other documents just so we can see what it's like when they get OCR'd. Let's see what the progress is. Okay, so we're at 130 out of 342 pages, so we'll be about halfway done soon. So just keep going through this book. So imagine you see this and you want to go through it, but you don't have time, or you're looking for something very specific. Why fumble through it manually when you'll be able to just use Parchment to search it? So all of this is going to become searchable, but in a different, more accurate way and more relevant way. Because when it's rise, they add different meaning to it. So it goes by meaning. That's how semantic search works. When semantic search is used, you can search just for the meaning of words. So that would make it very good for legal. So I'll also be demonstrating this on legal documents. But I wanted to do a book like this because the quality it's okay, but it's not perfect. It's a very long book. It covers a very interesting topic, the travels of Marco Polo. And where are we right now? So while we're going through it, we can see that this book is talking about Bohemia, talking about Austria. So we can search for this and see the results that get returned. So what's good about exact search is it's not just Control F where you're searching for the exact terms, because what you can get is it will re-rank the results that you get. So when you're doing lexical search, it's still more value than Control F because it also does other evaluations and it will re-rank it based off of relevance. So it won't just be every single mention of that term. So let's keep scrolling. I believe they said that there were some maps in here. Even though Tesseract is a good program and this is pretty good quality, it's probably still going to make some mistakes, which we will be able to see in the chunks that get retrieved. Okay, so less than 100 pages to go. I'm going to put this over here for now. Okay, so it mentions St. Louis, it mentions Kings of France. So it mentions Batu as one of the historical figures. So that's other stuff we can search for. See, we're barely on page 60. So there's a lot of material to go through here. But even though this OCR is taking a bit longer, it is worth it because it stays on your computer. And the other issue is things like Google Gemini file search, they will charge you if you go over the memory limit. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the OCR. Mentions Venice and Genoa. Okay, so soon, I believe OCR is the part that takes the longest. So OCR, optical character recognition, what it's doing right now. I'm not going to assume anyone has a bunch of technical knowledge. I didn't when I made this and I vibe coded it. Basically, this PDF doesn't have any text information for the computer. Okay. Okay, so chunking is complete. Indexing. Let's see what's next. Okay. Sometimes if you press enter in PowerShell, it already processed, and there we go. Okay. So now, now that it has been properly chunked and it's indexed and everything, what we can do is we can do, I can list the documents, I can do queries, I can do exact queries, I can do semantic queries, and I'm going to show you all of that right now. So exit. So now it takes me to the back. So now what I want to do is I want to ask questions. So I'm going to do Marco Polo, and I'm just going to do fast cited search. So this is, you can do questions without a model. I'm going to do everything without a model. You'll see. So where is Marco Polo from? Okay, so that didn't bring anything back. Okay. Where in Italy is Marco Polo from? Okay. So, as you can see, this is just a regular query, but it's going to tell you the page that you found it. So I put, where in Italy is Marco Polo from? Let's see. Where does it say? So it mentions more about the polos. Let's see where it says, if it says where he's from. Let's see. Eminent travelers. Where is Marco Polo's home? Okay. Where did Marco Polo travel to? Interesting. Okay. Who is Marco Polo? All right, so it says, so it's going stuff about the con, talks about his text notes. Apostolo Zeno, who's that? Okay. So who is Apostolo Zeno? Let's see. Page 25, page 28, page 27. Talks about the things that he wrote. So see, the results, it has page 25, has page 28, page 27, goes to page 6, and apparently, wait, was he French? I don't think so. But it tells you what he was connected to. One more. Who did Marco Polo meet? And it says several embassies. This talks about their journeys. Talks about how they went to the East, Central Asia. Rook? What is that? Let's search. What is a rook? A rook. Okay. Didn't get an answer. We'll ask that again. Let's see. Who are the Tartars? Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do a different type of search. So let's do 3 exact search. Marco Polo. Let's put Rook. 90 span feather of the Rook as already observed. Okay, doesn't mention much. Okay. Tartar. Hold on. See, so here the OCR ran into some issues, and then it mentions Tartar invasion, Tartar Emperor. As you can see, it's re-ranked. Now it's going deeper in the book and putting that first. So page 152. See? So you can get different information from it. Tartar invasion, let's see if it refers to them in plural. It did say Tartary earlier. Tartars. Okay, so we're going to do exit. Actually, hold on. Let's say, what does it say for Bohemia? Tartar armies had invaded Europe. Page 47. Okay, they go to Bohemia. Intelligence. See, so that's supposed to be Carinthia. Let me see. So, as you can see, even this book, not everything was OCR'd properly, but that's okay. So let's do Semantic. Well, let's do, if you ever want to see what your documents are, they're right here. It says Marco Polo. Okay. Enter to return to menu. So let's do semantic search for Marco Polo. Okay. What is this book about? So it's doing semantic right now. Okay. So, see page 6, 34, 223, 269, 35, 36. So the question was, what is this book about? It goes to page 90. It talks about Niccolo had died, leaving his son Marco. Oh, so this book, The Travels of Marco Polo, and what does it do? It immediately talks about the beginning of the narrative of the book, which is when Marco Polo was born. Interesting. Let's see. Page 193, appeared to be a bishop who was a man of a very holy life. He said, "Oh, bishop, do you know shoemaker very chaste purchase shoes?" Mentions Kambalu, mentions the great city of Cathay. Cathay was something that used to be called for part of Asia, part of China. But anyway, as you can see, I just wanted to get this out so you guys can see how quickly you can start asking questions. I'm going to make a new video after this. I'm going to do an entirely different type of paper. Thank you for watching. I'll make another video very soon.